All right, 13C.
Discuss the Galveston Housing Authority.
Okay.
Okay.
I did not put this on, but someone did, so I'll leave it to those who did.
Being new council members, as you know, the Galveston, the GHA has been a hot topic. And as running in a campaign and also now being city council person, we have been, numerous people have been calling us, ex-employees, current employees, constituents, tenants, my insureds that live in these developments, and are asking to bring forth some complaints. Some employees want to come under the whistleblower. I do understand that GHA is a government entity and that the City Council has no authority over this over this government. We do have board members that are going to be leaving, from my understanding, and I do understand that the mayor does make the appointment. I would like to see if there's a way that we can do a special meeting to address some of the issues that some of the city council members are receiving, especially the complaints on, disgruntled employees, again, that have some really topics that need to be discussed. I know that GHA has openly stated that we welcome all investigation. And I personally think that we need to address this in some way. And whoever our mayor may be, we would like to also let you know, too, about some of the complaints that we've had on the recent board members and them actually lobbying for business, some harassment, and, the elections, where we have board members being very involved with the elections, not just, several of the elections that have happened. They're not just in one, it's in several of them. And those are the type of things that we would like to address and talk about, because even though, that we don't have much of a say, GHA does. They are appointed by the mayor, but they do affect Galveston and they do affect our constituency. And I feel like we have to respond to those requests. And when we really need that direction, and that's why we'd like to have a meeting that we can discuss it with the mayor about all the stuff that we feel that are not to who contacts us. And then I also would like to know if there's a way that we can have a special meeting, or because again, I do know that the mayor is going to have to do more appointments coming up, but I think it's only right that we as city council people let him know the complaints that we're hearing and the things that have to me, I believe, are very wrong and very to the point of, I think some of it may be even criminal activity. And when we make those appointments, or when the mayor makes that appointment, we would, that's clearly his choice, but we would like to have some input to let him know what we've heard about the current, and who he's considering to appoint for the next meetings, and give us our input. Of course, that's totally all up to him. That is the mayor's decision to make. I just think that because of the issues that we have had and them being so involved with this election, I think it's important to show that we're going to do a fresh start and that we're going to, like a new direction.
Well, I recommend you put it on the next agenda, and we could do it at the regular meeting, and take an hour, and see how we go with that. And if we need more time, we can just keep going.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Excellent.
I do.
Excellent.
And so we'll post it on the agenda as far as the council's discussion of council's recommendation for the mayor's appointment to the Galveston Housing Authority.
I didn't necessarily hear that. You might make it broader.
Broader? Okay.
Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically not telling him who, because that would be the mayor's decision, but to bring up all the activity that we have been made aware of or that we have witnessed and that, there are employees that have contacted us, and we want to make sure that they either can be able to continue their jobs, and, it's important, this board, that he's getting ready to these new appointments, because they're going to be hiring, the executive directors who they're over.
If you want full breadth, just discuss the Galveston Housing Authority.
Just the same posting.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you.
Ms. Beaton.
When will the appointments be made to the Housing Authority Board? New appointments or extensions of existing terms?
I believe some of the terms expire at the end of the month. I did make copies of those also.
Mayor, there was a couple of them that said that they're up already at the end of this month.
Thank you. So, the expiration dates look like they're June 30th of 2012 for 3 members of the Housing Authority Board. That would be James Dennis, Tom LaRue, and Jeff Temple. Betty Massey and Teresa Banuelos are not up for reappointment until June 30th of 2013. Is that right, Mrs. Cross?
That's my understanding from this form that I obtained today from the City Secretary's office.
So we're going to have an election on June 23rd. Right. So these appointments will be made either by Joe, if he's reelected, or by Lewis, if he's elected on the 23rd. Is that your understanding, Mayor Jaworski?
I didn't understand the question. What?
The question is, the appointments will be made by whoever is elected on June 23rd. Is that correct? Because these terms expire on June 30th, and the election will be held on June 23rd.
And what I would say to you is the way you asked the question could be interpreted to say that they will be made on the 23rd. Right. Whoever the next mayor is, whether it's myself or my opponent, will be making those appointments. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on June 30th. Like anything, it could be July 1st. It could be July 2nd.
Well, really what I was asking, not so much the date on which the appointments would be made, but whether they would be made after the election and by whomever is elected on June 23rd. I ask it because I don't know if it's valuable for us to have a meeting before June 23rd where we discuss these appointments and make recommendations to the mayor until we know the outcome of the election on the 23rd.
Ms. Tarlton.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking for a meeting prior to the election. I would just like for us to have a meeting with the mayor so that people that are serving on city council can let the mayor understand what we've been hearing, our concerns, and bring that forward, and to about the current board members and the ones that are going off and future. And that can be after the election, but we would like to have that so that we can, discuss that. Because I really have a lot of information that's been brought to me that I'm very disturbed by. And where do I go with it? I believe that the mayor needs to hear it. And I think it's important, again, since we're having board members that are coming up, and current employees, feel that their jobs may be in jeopardy. And I think we need to address that because even though, again, City Council doesn't have any control over that governmental entity, they do have, the mayor does have a lot of a lot of impact on that board by who is appointed. And they're going to carry out on the program with the executive director. So I think it's very important that we put our input in, especially now.
All right. Any other comments on 13C?